Welcome back to a new post today, and let's discuss something regarding the electioneering. So the question is that can we request or appeal for votes on the basis of religion, race, caste, community, on these criteria. So can a person who is electioneering, a person who wants to become a representation of the Lok Sabha, representative of the Lok Sabha, I'm sorry, can he request or appeal, he or she request or appeal for votes on the ground of religion, race, caste, language or community? Now the reason why this issue came up into discussion was the recent statement of one of our MP, Rahul Gandhi, with regard to his remark on Shakti, and now the DMK has filed a complaint against Prime Minister Narendra Modi for appealing to people on the basis of religious sentiments. So what do the present laws say? Are there any Supreme Court pronouncements in this regard? What does the Model Code of Conduct say in this regard? Let's have a quick review about this. As we are into a mode of electioneering, and now we have the first phase of elections to be conducted in the early month of April. So let's have a quick review about these issues. So as I told you, the issue came up because of these two separate issues. One is about the remark of Shakti, and another by a DMK party filing a complaint about Prime Minister Narendra Modi appealing on the basis of religion. So we have elections in the country are governed by various laws, and one of them is the Representation of People Act 1951. Now there is a section in this act which is which numbers 123 clause 3. It provides that appeal by a candidate or any other person on his behalf to vote or to refrain from voting on the ground of his religion, race, caste, community, language is a corrupt electoral practice, and therefore it is an offence under section 123 of the Representation of People Act. Now section 123 3A denounces any attempt by a candidate to promote the feelings of enmity, hatred among the citizens on the grounds during elections. The RP Act further provides that anybody who is found guilty of these corrupt electoral practices can be debarred from contesting elections for a maximum period of up to 6 years. So we also have a Model Code of Conduct that comes into force as soon as the election schedule is announced, and we already have a Model Code of Conduct in force. So this says it's definitely not enforceable because it's just a code for the political parties to follow during electioneering, and it is not supported by any laws. But yes, if there are certain offences conducted under this code and they are criminalized under various acts of IPC, sections of IPC, I'm sorry, and the Representation of People laws or any other election law, then the person can be tried under those laws and not the Model Code of Conduct. So Model Code of Conduct is for the guidance of the political parties and candidates. It is a set of norms that have been evolved to consensus of the political parties. They have consented to abide by these principles embodied in the said code and binds them with respect to observe it during the election in letter and spirit. Now the code, which began to be strictly observed in 1990s, provides that no party or candidate shall indulge in any activity which may aggravate existing differences or create a mutual hatred or cause tension or between different castes, religions and linguistic communities. It also provides that there should be no appeal to any person on the basis of caste or communal feeling for securing of votes, and mosques, churches, temple or any other place of worship should not be used for a forum of electioneering propaganda. Now though the Model Code of Conduct does not have a statutory backing, but it comes into acquired strength if because of the enforcement of the Election Commission of India, if the acts are violated or are criminalized under the IPC sections or the other acts of the election, as I previously told you. So let me tell you that before 1961 there was a change. So section 123 of the RPA provided that a systemic appeal by a candidate on the grounds of religion, race, community, caste will amount to corrupt electoral practice. However, to curb communal and other tendencies, the word systemic was omitted through an amendment in 1961, and this meant that even a stray appeal for success in elections on the ground of one's religion, caste and community affiliation would be viewed as disfavored by the law. And there have been innumerable instances in the past where various political parties and leaders have blatantly appealed for votes in the name of religion. There have been leaders across the political parties against whom there have been registered cases under the Representation of People Act and the Indian Penal Code in this regard. However, the only notable leader who was convicted by the Supreme Court for this corrupt electoral practice was Bal Thackeray of the Shiv Sena in 1995, and the Election Commission of India on such occasions at best bars the leaders from campaigning if they have violated the Model Code of Conduct for at most 2 or 3 days. So this is one example how a person has been convicted for violation of this, and the first case is with regard to Bal Thackeray of Shiv Sena. So what does the court say? Now the court in one Abhiram Singh versus C.D. Komachain of 2017 case, in this a 7-judge bench with a majority of 4-3 held that candidates should not appeal for votes on the basis of religion, but not only his religion but also on the basis of the voters' religion as well. The majority view provided an interpretation to section 123 rather than just a literal one, thereby rendering an appeal in the name of religion of even the voters now will be a corrupt electoral practice. The elections to the parliament and the state legislature are a secular exercise. Constitutional ethos forbids the mixing of religion with political considerations, and state religion is a matter of personal faith and should not be mingled or mixed with politics or the administration of the state. So what is actually needed? Now the political parties and the candidates are likely to raise legitimate concerns of citizens faced by them on the basis of their traits having their origin in religion, caste, community or language, etc. in this democratic process. Therefore, it should be only to address the grievances of such people who are from religion, caste or any community for any problems that they have faced through appropriate and they should be considered in only this case, and also appropriate policies which may have violated any of the person's rights on these grounds without jeopardizing the secular fabric or the fraternity of the country. And now any appeal in the name of religion only results in polarization, and this should not be done by the candidates during electioneering, because we are a multi-religious society. Now places of worship also have been used overtly and covertly by many people in the past, and even recently also for the canvassing. Religious leaders have thrown their weight behind the candidates of various political parties. This should not be done. These practices ideally should be avoided, and also in order to ensure that politics and religion does not mix up. However, the primary responsibility definitely lies on the political parties, the leaders who canvass and electioneer. Their campaigns on the basis of religion not only disturbs the secular fabric of the country but also is a clear violation of the law, and they should understand this. And the ECI and court should devise a mechanism for swift action, especially against those who violate the law, irrespective of which political party they belong to, because usually the party who has been in power finds the other parties find them biased, or the Election Commission of India are biased towards them. So this should not be done. Election should be fought clearly only on the basis of good governance and questions of governance, and also protecting the rights, if possible, if any, on these bases as well, but should not lead to polarization of the society or appealing of the votes only on the basis of this. So I hope this issue was really understood by all. Very few points which I try to give you all. As we are having now the elections coming, electioneer is going to start, definitely there will be instances of violation, and you should know that they are not allowed to appeal for votes on the basis of religion, caste, community or language basis. So this is some very important thing. But yes, gender I think is allowed, so that is another dimension altogether. And if you did like these few points which I shared for you for the election, please do like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to comment at the end of the video, and I shall see you in my next post. Until then, it's very happy learning.